let's start with Greg Pickle with Penn Live. Go ahead, Greg.
Hey, thanks. Hey, good morning, Coach. How are you?
I'm good, Greg. Thanks.
Hey, thanks for your time. Coach Franklin said yesterday that, and I'm quoting here, we haven't been really explosive in the passing game like we were last year or in previous years. Why do you think that is? What can you do to fix it at this point, and how would that help you for the last 6 games of the year?
All you can do is continue to work your fundamentals in the pass game. I think our schemes are depending on what type of defense we're playing. We're trying to attack those certain coverages and trying to create the best matchups we can. So we're working real hard on that from each week to week. But you just stay the course, and it's everything. It's not just the routage or the scheme necessarily. It's protections, it's timing, it's all those things wrapped in one.
Let's go to Mark Brennan with Lions 247.
Hey, Mike, thanks again. As Greg said, appreciate you doing this today.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Hey, this is the first time we've had a chance to talk to you since Drew was named the second teamer in the preseason. Could you tell us about the qualities that allowed him to kind of make that climb so quickly, and how confident are you if he had to step in as a starter at some point, because we know how kind of volatile things could be? Thanks.
Yeah, I'm really excited about the whole room in general. Those guys are unbelievable competitors, and they're all great people in that room. And it's, when you make a decision like that, time is of the essence, and the reps are precious to get the backup prepared properly. You have to make certain decisions and go with what you see and how things are evolving and productivity, and all of those things. And Drew has come a long way since spring, and so CB's done some really good things, Bo's done some really good things, and they've all continued to improve. So what we saw was the ability to stretch the field vertically, good vision in the pocket. We know he's a tough guy, with his big body and can handle, he's very durable in there. And you never really know, and then he gets thrown in the Purdue game, and then, he seemed very, very comfortable in that setting. So that gave you, a little bit of confidence, that he's able to handle the bright lights of that situation. So we're excited about him, and we're excited about the entire quarterback room here at Penn State.
Let's go to Rich Garcellen with the Reading Eagle. Tyler Donahue, you're on deck.
Mike, how would you describe the state of the running game right now, and how would you evaluate the two freshman backs, Nick and Katron?
Yes, sir. I think the state of the running game, when we look back on it, we've really improved ourselves there. I think yards per carry at this point in the season, we were 117th last year, and now we're, top 30 somewhere. So that's significant improvement. If we can continue to make strides in that area, we're going to continue, be satisfied with that. And that's all we can do, is just try to continue to build, and try to get better in every facet of the offense. And you're never satisfied, so we have to continue to build on that. But the young running backs have been really good. Obviously, the ball security issues on the wet day, we've worked real hard on that. We always have, and we always will. But they're getting better. They're understanding the game more. It's coming easier to them week in and week out. But at the same time, offensively, we have to stay kind of in our realm of concepts, so that they can be more sound fundamentally and see the same reads over and over and over, and continue to get a feel for each particular run that we're running from week to week. So we're trying to stay in our box to get those guys more comfortable, but they've shown improvement, and overall a growth has developed with their knowledge of the game of football. I think Coach Sider's done a great job helping those guys evolve, not just into great runners, but great running backs, and that involves protections, from everything from protections to how we're blocking certain things, and what fronts, where the ball probably will hit based on the location of the nose, etc. So just overall improvement, and got to continue to build on that.
Let's go to Tyler Donahue, Lions 247, and then Audrey, you're on deck.
Hi, Mike. I hope you're well. I'm curious, you're entering your 20th game as offensive coordinator with this program. How would you evaluate the job you've done and kind of making your mark with this offense, and particularly when it comes to maximizing the strengths of your personnel?
Yeah, I think overall, as an offensive coordinator, I think what you have to do is adapt. I think we've done that, and we have to continue to do that and adapt to our personnel strengths based on game plans and matchups and all those sorts of things. Continue to evolve and find ways to move the football. Be very complimentary. Put the defense in conflict on every single play that you're running. I think that's very important. And so, I'm not one to evaluate myself. That's Coach Franklin's job to do that. I'm just trying to work my tail off, give great effort, and put these players in the best position possible to be successful. To also lean on my staff for communication and be able to listen and be able to take input, and then ultimately got to make some tough decisions, and then give our guys the best chance for success on Saturdays. That's my role. I'm here to help them in any way that I can. It's not about me. It's about these guys that give great effort on a day-to-day basis. The way they practice, it's tremendous. It's fun to be around these guys, and I just want to do my part, be organized, communicate well, motivate, and let it fly on Saturdays.
Let's go to Audrey Snyder with The Athletic, and then Elton, you're on deck.
Hey, Mike, thanks for the time. How would you evaluate Sean Clifford's play so far? And also, last week we see Drew go in at Michigan. How do you think he did in that particular moment?
Yeah, Sean has had some great moments throughout the course of the year. He's really, the one thing that sticks out most obvious to me is, the Purdue threw an interception, critical part of the game, and then comes right back and leads us down to victory in a 2-minute drill. And that's really epitomizes Sean, his toughness, what he brings to our team. He's invaluable to everything he does from a leadership standpoint, from a toughness standpoint. He does all the little things that a true freshman quarterback may overlook at times. And those are important things for the overall offense to be successful, and for us to be able to adapt and to change and to maybe check a play here or motion a receiver based on coverage and all of those sorts of things. He gets that, and he's able to coach that to the younger guys. So, what he's done for us this year has been great. We need to see him continue to improve and be more efficient, and that's everything around him as well. I think quarterback sometimes is a microcosm of everything else that goes on around the quarterback. He needs to continue to improve. He's made obviously some plays that he'd like to have back, but I think what you're going to see is continual improvement because he works his butt off. And when guys work their tail off and practice really hard and dedicate themselves, they are going to get better. So, Drew, second part of the question, Michigan game, he had some balls that they needed to throw better. He had a couple long balls I thought that he could have put on the money and gave us a chance to be explosive there in the pass game. He knows that. He knew that coming off the field right when it happened. But he played tough. He's a physical guy that loves to compete, and he's fun to watch. So, I think we were in a particular ball game when he went in where you're down and you can't really help him with staying on schedule, making easy throws. They were pressuring us. We had to throw it. We had to push the ball down the field, and he went into a really tough situation. So he competed his butt off. That's all we can ask.
Let's go to Elton Hayes, and then John Sauber, you're on deck.
Hey, Mike, thanks for your time this morning. You guys are going up against a Minnesota team that excels with time of possession. This week going into this game, what are some ways that you're working on the offense to ensure that it kind of stays on the field longer, extended drives, and stays on schedule? Thanks.
Yes, sir. Very important there. They're a very good third down So third down's been a big stress point, obviously, for us this week. We have to improve in that area, especially going against such a tough defense in that particular situation. So that's big. But, what helps you on third downs is being efficient on first and second down. So it all correlates. So we got to make sure that we do a great job with our opening drive and our early first down calls, P and 10 calls, possession and 10, and making sure that we're staying ahead of the stick, staying on schedule, and so that we can stay on the field and keep our defense off the field.
We'll go to John Sauber with the Center Daily Times, and Corey Geiger, you're on deck.
Hey, Mike. How involved is James with the game planning of the offense, and how does that compare both to last season and other coaches you've worked for, whether it's similar or dissimilar?
Yeah, coaches in every offensive meeting, sometimes he gets pulled from them quite a bit with his head coaching duties, but he gives great input each game plan, and it's the same as it was last year. And it's very similar to what it was for me at Oklahoma State and